Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Women Empowerment Series with me, Farisha. And today we have a lovely guest with us. It's Siti Kamariah Ahmad Subki. Assalamualaikum. Hi Siti.
Waalaikumsalam. Hi Farisha. I hope you're having a good weekend.
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, thank you. And how about you?
Alhamdulillah. It's been a beautiful day, and weekends as always sacred rest time, and I really enjoy doing this with you.
Okay, and first and foremost, I would like to thank you. Thank you, Siti, for being in Women Empowerment Series. So, Women Empowerment Series podcast is where I showcase ladies from Malaysia, inspiring, motivating ladies. Okay, so Siti, can you tell us more about yourself?
Thank you, Farisha. I am a chartered accountant by training, and uh, when we were young, right, being an accountant is not something that I chose. Hey, this is what I want to do when I grow up. It was a choice that I made because the opportunity came about. I received a very good scholarship, and to me, education was a ticket way out for me to improve my life. And I didn't come from a rich family. I came from an underprivileged community. Inshallah, we used to live in a low cost flat housing. And the school that I went to, not many people at that time in the early 90s aspire to go to university. But when I finally got the scholarship and it was to study accounting in Australia, I took it, I grabbed it, I made the best out of it. And when I graduated, I did serve and complete my chartered accountancy. So I went on to work in Australia for almost 8 years up to until 2008. And I truly enjoyed that formative years, Farisha, because I realized then, although I mentioned to you, I didn't choose accounting as my first career choice, but later I realized that it actually gave me a very good foundation because being able to manage your finances well is something that everyone needs to learn. Whether you like it, you do not like it, you choose it, you need to learn it because it's a life skill. And even now that after that, I continue on to work with Khazanah, and I was in investments, and I also learned how to make some money through investments and build a very strong foundation personally. So, the usual dream, like you want to buy a car, a house, and maybe pay off at least half of your house, and also invest in a few assets before you're 30. So I did all that when I was working in Australia. And when I came back to Malaysia, I continued on and worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I also met quite a number of interesting mentors there. And from there, Farisha, I also learned that there are a lot of young people who actually chose or did not choose accounting, and later on made the best out of it.
Wow.
And now, yeah. And in 2015, I made after much consideration, I made actually a career switch. So I moved to development field. And at that time, there was a good opportunity that came about with the United Nations in New York. We have Tan Sri Dr. Jamilah Mahmud, who was heading the UN World Humanitarian Summit back then with the HQ in New York, USA, and the event which was to be held in 2016 in Istanbul, Turkey. So I applied for it, got the opportunity, and found myself in New York for the first time working on humanitarian fields. And
congratulations.
And it was actually absolutely, that was a big life-changing moment for me. Not only I slightly changed career, but then I realized being there, my skills in finance and accounting and investment came very handy when you're advising on humanitarian matters, on how you can explore innovative financing mechanisms, Islamic social finance. And most of all, I met with highly interesting characters and individuals from all over the world who shared the same passion. So from there, even when I came back to Malaysia, I never looked back. So I'm still in what we call development field, but now my passion is channeled to women empowerment, being the CEO of Institute Wanita Berdaya, or the Selangor State Women's Empowerment Institute. So still very much the same ethos. We want to help women empower, help people become the better versions of themselves. So even the cost change, but the passion still remains the same.
Wow, very inspiring indeed. And can you also share with us the highlights, the most memorable highlights in your career today?
There are many highlights, actually. Very hard for me to pick one because I firmly believe that no experience will ever go to waste. Sometimes the days where you are at your desk slogging the longest hours actually were some of the best years of your life. But I must say that the time that I spent in New York working on the UN World Humanitarian Summit has got to be one of the highlights of my career, because I feel that I remember in my diary or journal entry, I wrote there around the world in 180 days. And it felt like that because the assignment brought me to different parts of the world. I was in Oxford, UK and London, meeting with various stakeholders for during the entire time. I was there for 6 times. And then one moment I was in Vatican, in Rome, Italy, and of course in New York. And there was sometimes that I traveled to parts that I've never been before. Istanbul, Turkey is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And also met some of the best brains working towards one cause only at that time. How can we actually make humanitarian response for the refugees who are stranded different parts of the world, have a better life, better chance at achieving their lifelong dream, or having the most basic thing, which is to live well like a human being should.
Wow, United Nations. United Nations, representing Malaysia to United Nations. That is a big accomplishment, Siti. Well done and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next question. What does woman empowerment means to you?
Women empowerment means to me differently at different stages of my life. Of course, when you're young, you probably heard of this analogy. People say, like, if you can't make up your mind on what to order in a restaurant, you're not empowered. You know how like you have some girlfriends when you're growing up in high school. What do you want to eat? I'm not sure. Up to you. Okay. To me, that is the first sign of you not feeling empowered. So at a very young age, I always made it a point to make my own choices, even if it's for the smallest thing: what to wear, where to go, and what to eat. So very basic, but it was actually a very good practice for empowering yourself to make choices. But later on, it became bigger choices. For example, do I go to boarding school or not? I think going to boarding school was one of the best choices I made for myself, because it gave me the clarity and focus on my studies, and also open up doors. I was in college at Sansat Melaka, so open up multiple doors of opportunities, people and places, and scholarship opportunities. So it was one of the best life choices I made, very empowering. And later on, it was whether to study in Malaysia or overseas, to accept a scholarship opportunity or not. And it got bigger and bigger. You say like, whether do I want to stay in accounting? Do I move to development? Do I speak my mind on a certain topic or not? Do I show solidarity on a certain topic or not? Do I say my views on, say, refugees at the risk of seemingly being opinionated? It's all those that actually involve choices. Mm-hmm. And as long as you are aware, consciously aware that you're making those choices, that's empowerment. Because there's also another side of the coin. In the course that we pursue, there's also the debate that the word empowerment, the root word for empowerment is empower. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, grammatically, it also signifies that someone is giving you power. So this is getting a bit philosophical, Farisha, but it's very important distinction, because true empowerment for me means that you are giving yourself power to choose, to move forward in life. But if you are doing something, even though you appear to be confident, you are very successful, but you're being empowered, you're given the power by someone else, which means that you're being empowered by, say, a spouse, which is good to a certain extent, but it's not true empowerment. And true empowerment is something that comes from within you. You allow yourself to be happy. You
From your
recognize, you allow yourself, forgiveness, confidence from within.
Okay, and moving on to the next question. Who are the inspirational woman leaders that you admire in Malaysia and also internationally?
I love this question, Farisha, because the first person that makes me feel most inspired in my life is actually my mother. My mother has been through so much in her life, but if there's one thing I could learn from her, that's resilience. And of course, my mom has also taught me the true meaning of grit, determination, of being true to yourself, of being resourceful, being good with money, being frugal, and being kind, being empathetic, having faith in life, and never forget your prayers. So I would say that everything that I have within me as a person and shapes me as a woman that I am today is my mother. So that although she didn't come from, she came from a very humble background, but I feel that from where she started, she's actually one of the most successful women that I know in Malaysia.
Wow.
And of course, throughout my career, I met quite a number of inspiring women at school. I remember as young as 16, like for example, we had Cikgu Atun in our school that really nurtured my confidence in art, for example, that I pursue art even until today, because she instilled that confidence. Siti, you're good with art. This is something that you have it within you. So imagine someone told you that at 16, you remember even when you're 40. So then, and different parts of your career, for example, when I was at PricewaterhouseCoopers, our senior partner at that time, Sakaya Johns Rani, always tells me, Siti, always claim your own personal power, make your presence felt, claim your space. You know that those words, even until today, really echo in my mind. That I think the most important thing as a leader, as a female leader, is to learn how to claim your space. I think we women do not claim our space enough. And again, moving on, when I made my move in every stage of my career, for example, when I was at Khazanah, I had my former boss, Farouk and Idham, who always told me that the difference between a successful person and a not so successful person is how well they make use of opportunities. And until today, that word actually is something that it's very hard for me to forget. How do I make full use of an opportunity? And an opportunity is not always given to you. You have to seek it, fight for it, learn how to access opportunities. Who do you speak to access those opportunities? So very important career lessons that I learned from these powerful individuals. And of course, when I was in New York, I had Tan Sri Dr. Jamila Mahmud, whom I learned so many things about development fields and how to write good speeches. She's wonderful with words, very articulative.
Yeah.
She's amazing, inspiring. So you can say that like from as young as a baby, these women, men and women that have shaped my life and my personality as a person, like without them, and of course, not everyone that I could name in this conversation, many others that have shaped your being. And I feel that that's what life as a journey truly means.
Yeah, and it's amazing, because I can also connect with you on a deeper level as well, because I also idolize my mother. She's like my number one, and I also idolize Dr. Jamila Mahmud, because she's like, wow, amazing, and she's done so much for our country. And there's a lot out there, like inspirational ladies in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And
of course, there are also the 7% of the female prime ministers, chancellor, world leaders, which is like a very small figure, the likes of Jacinda Ardern, Angela Merkel and whatnot. You really look up to them. You wish that if you ever have a female prime minister, we want one like that. So of course, like I follow them on Instagram and get my daily dose of inspirations from them as well.
I love Jacinda Ardern. New Zealand Prime Minister. Yeah. Okay, and moving on to the next question. Okay, and who are your inspirational women leaders internationally?
So there are quite a number of leaders that I met when I was working with the United Nations in New York, Farisha. There are countless women that I can't name immediately right now, but like I mentioned earlier, Tan Sri Dr. Jamila Mahmud is actually also a global leader, and to me, she signifies a leader who can actually go local, who actually can go global. So I feel that that's a very core skills for any leader to have, because it takes a lot of humility for you to be able to listen well when you go to work with local refugee communities, for example, when she went to Aceh, and be able to serve those communities and give them what they want. But at the same time, when you are at a global stage, you are also able to look at the big picture and convince global leaders that this is the cause that they must pursue.
Okay, now moving on to the next question. What would be your advice to the young ladies out there?
I feel that I still fall into the category of a young lady. So it's almost like talking to a fellow sister, maybe slightly much younger young lady. I feel that the best thing that I learned when I was younger is that no experience ever go to waste. Because when you're young, there's a lot of uncertainty and you're not sure what is it that you want in life. And because of that, I feel that a lot of young women miss out on opportunities. So they don't grab those opportunities that were presented to them because they were not sure that this is what they want in their life. But I feel that if it's the opportunity has already been presented to you, you need to make the best out of it. Even if it's something that you pursue for like 2 to 3 years of your life, if you don't give your 300% with whatever that you have on your hand, meaning living in the present moment, whatever job that you have at that time, you're not optimizing that experience. You may be in a job that is less than ideal. For example, I've always wanted to work with the United Nations in development ever since I was, for example, a child. Even before I chose accounting as my first profession, but it only came like 15 years after I got my first job, which means that it's less than ideal. But that, and in reflecting back, I realized that I not made the best of the opportunities that were presented to me when I was 16, 23, which was, even though they were less than ideal, I would not have been able to optimize when the dream actually finally came true. Because whatever bits that you learn here and there leading to the journey, when you finally got to your destination, actually paved the way to your destination. So life is not a destination, it's that journey towards that destination that counts.
Yeah.
The steps. Yes.
And you have to cross oceans, you have to cross mountains, and it's not a straight line. Life is not a straight line. You have to go through some challenges, even myself as well. So I think even everybody, we go through all these challenges in our life, but it's actually shaping and paving us, molding our character and leading us to the right direction.
Absolutely. And the people you meet along the way, that's one thing that I've learned in life. There's one thing that matters along the journey of life is actually the people you meet along the way. And sometimes we miss out on that because we thought that is the material wealth that we accumulate along the journey. It's our first car, second car, third car, or the handbags that you collect. All those are beautiful things, which I adore as well. But what matters at the end of the day is the people that you meet throughout your journey. So never burn any bridges, never leave anyone as an enemy. Always make your best effort to reconcile, because like you mentioned, there will be challenges in life. You can't expect that you're going to be smiling to everyone throughout your journey. There will be painful moments, there will be fights, tense moments, but as a human being, make amends along the way. Make sure that your journey at the end of it is actually a meaningful one.
It's actually how you overcome it,
Yes.
And it's all in your mind.
Absolutely.
If you have a positive mindset, you will think positive and like, how do I find a solution to this problem.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How can I problem solve? How can I find a solution to solve this situation? Yes.
Yeah.
So
Never leave any loose ends.
it's
Yeah.
all in the
Never run away.
mindset. Yeah.
I
Yes.
fully agree with that. And that in itself actually give you that positive vibes, energy, and then you find your solution to the problems. And so you know that when you reflect back at that point in your career or in your life, you've given your very best to make sure that it's all been resolved before you move on to your next level in your career.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you, Siti. And also another thing I would like to share with all our viewers is also the opportunity of giving back to others as well. The impact, if you can change someone's life, like the impact on, changing someone's life, that's also a positive vibe as well, because you're doing something that making a difference, not just for you, but for that person as well.
Absolutely. And I think if that is what makes me wake up in the morning smiling, is the thought that I'm making an impact in someone's life. Um, and you know that you know this when you have touched someone's life, when they come back to you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to attend that course for free that Institute Wanita Berdaya organized, for example. Do you know that I managed to make 80 ringgit per day now selling nasi bungkus after I learned how to sell on WhatsApp through one of your programs. And you get this kind of messages, and then thank you for the support that you gave through the research by making sure that people are aware that people in my area do not have access to internet, for example. So on a daily basis, I strive to make sure that someone's life is impacted positively. And I do hope that I can also collaborate with people, more people, organizations, to make greater impact so that we can reach different parts of society, because alone it can feel like it's an unsurmountable task, but together we can achieve more.
Yes, it's all about teamwork.
Absolutely.
Okay, Siti, we have almost come to the end of the show. Do you have any advice that you would like to share with our viewers? And maybe you can also share with us more on Institute Wanita Berdaya, IWB, and share about your recent projects and how people can get in touch with you.
Thank you again, Farisha. Institute Wanita Berdaya Selangor was founded in 2017 as a think tank for women empowerment. So we do a lot of research, and the latest research that we are currently working on is a research on the impact of COVID-19 MCO, the Movement Restricted Order, that happened since March, on how it impacts women's livelihoods economically and socially. And this has actually brought us to various interesting places. Although the survey was done online, we're now extending it to include more focus groups discussions. So we'll be meeting more women in the next couple of weeks, women in PPR, women in Felda, and women in Kampung, to understand why quite a big percentage of them have actually moved from income level of B40 to below 989, which is below the poverty line in Malaysia. So we want to understand deeper on what actually happened and how they actually have lost their livelihoods, and how we can help them to become more resilient, to strive to survive this together stronger. And with this cause, I do hope that along the way we can find partners to collaborate with and help as many women as possible. So the survey that we've completed should have around 1,000 respondents. So that's 1,000 women in Selangor. And I'm sure there are more women that we could help, not just within the 1,000 respondents number. You can find a bit more information on the research on our website at IWB, www.iwbselangor.org.my. We have also posted our latest research report, which covered from the first month of PKP or MCO, which is the month of March, and our extended research covers from the month of April until June. So do look out for our research report for the second phase of our review on the situation.
Okay, and for those of you who...
And
to check out is at the IWB dot
www.iwbselangor.org.my.
www.iwbselangor.org.my. Yes,
.my.
and they
Yes.
can download the COVID report too, right, from the website.
Correct, and we also share about our other capacity building programs and women empowerment programs that we run extensively online during the time of the MCO. But we are starting to do physical programs more and more coming up, and so do check out if we are near your area. So if you can join, that would be much appreciated.
Okay, lovely. And for those of you who are interested to collaborate with IWB on a CSR project and sponsorship, you can email to Siti Kamariah. And what is the email address for IWB?
You can email me directly at city.kamariah@iwbselangor.com.my.
Mm-hmm. And you are open to collaboration and partnership for CSR project, corporate social responsibility, partnership and collaboration. And for those of you who are watching this out there, be sure to check out IWB website. And also you can get in touch with Siti Kamariah personally via her LinkedIn and also Facebook. Okay, till then, stay safe, take care. Thank you, Siti. Thank you for being with me at Women Empowerment Series. And thank you for sharing your inspiring story, motivating and empowering more women out there to reach their fullest potential.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum. Bye.